Hey everybody, I'm back again with some more cool stuff to show you. And before I get into this week's video, I want to let you know that I was on a podcast last night, actually a video podcast called The Reptile Ward. So I'm going to put the link to that in the notes below this video so you can go check that out. I think it's almost an hour and a half long, so might give you some insight into what's been going on with my business lately. So this week's video, I want to show some dark stuff, some of my favorite dark combos that I produced this year. And let's just get right down to it. I love dark genes in ball pythons, especially mixing different dark genes together. So that's kind of the point of the snakes that I'm going to show in this video. Some of them are darker than others, but it's all relatively dark themed. And yeah, I just really like combining different dark things together to make even darker morphs. So yeah, this is the first one here. This is a Super GHI Mojave. Yeah, obviously not completely dark. There are ways to make solid black snakes, but I don't have any of those here right now. So, but this is a nice dark one. Okay, and then the next Super GHI I have here is a Super GHI Pied. If I can get him to stretch out here a little bit. Well, he's going to be shy. So really cool. I mean, very, very dark snake, heavily patterned, but with these nice, really light, blushed out highlights on there. It's really cool. I haven't had much luck making these over the years, but this one's doing really well. And hopefully I'll get him up to breeding size for the 2023 season. And I'll put him to some other projects. And the nice thing is every baby that he fathers will be all GHI, so that'll be really cool. Okay, the next one I have here, this is a GHI Leopard genetic stripe. I have a GHI Enchi genetic stripe female that is getting pretty big. She's from 2020, and she should be ready to breed for the 2023 breeding season. So that's another different take on this, but I think the leopard really darkens this up. It actually leaves the nice bold striping down the back. The regular GHI genetic stripe, which I've shown in videos in the past, probably, I don't know, 2 years ago, that's a predominantly black snake. It doesn't really have a whole lot of pattern. For this video, I wanted to focus on stuff that I produced in 2021 and not any of the older stuff, but if you go back and search through my 100 plus videos, probably 200 plus videos, you can definitely find that one in a video at some point. And I'll probably show it. I'll probably do a video focusing on genetic stripe projects sometime in the next month or so, a couple months maybe, and I'm sure I'll show her too. She's actually breeding right now, so I don't want to mess with her too much, but really, really cool snake. But this guy I really like. I love the way the leopard just gives it the nice bold outline and the nice bright stripe down the back, and just a predominantly really dark snake. Okay, the next one here, I've seen him in a couple videos before. And this guy isn't a completely dark snake like this one, but he's got some dark pattern to him. This is a black pastel yellow belly Krypton. So he's het clown and het cryptic, and he's black pastel and yellow belly. And of course, black pastel is going to make for a really dark snake. The yellow belly actually probably adds brightness to it, but still really cool snake. I love bold, high contrasted patterns, the dark and the light together in the same snakes. I think that just gives the best overall look for a ball python. And this one I think is no exception to that. It's got really nice blushing, a lot of real heavy pattern. Really cool snake. I've got some pretty big plans for him and some clown projects and Krypton projects over the next, probably starting next year. Okay, we're going to stick with the clown theme and go with this guy. Girl, actually. This one's a female. I held back a pair of these this year. This is a black pastel leopard clown. So that's got two dark genes mixed into it, and I really think it gives a really cool look. It's got the kind of the bright belly, really cool belly actually, and a really interesting looking head. Very different from a regular leopard clown's head and very different from a regular black pastel leopard clown's head. It's really cool. This is the second of the two that I hatched out this year. Like I said, this one's a female and I have a male that's growing up right now. He was in shed, so I decided to show her instead of him today. And this one's actually only maybe a month old. One of my last clutches for the year. Okay, and the next one I have here, this one gets a little progressively lighter, but this one is a bongo clown. And I'm telling you guys, bongo is going to be a really big player in the clown game coming up over the next few years once you start getting more combos into this. Look at that head. I mean, you can't replicate that head with really anything else. They always have this little bit of a striping on their head. That's the easiest way to tell if a bongo clown is a bongo clown or not. But just a really unique color palette with this, and it's definitely on the darker side. Bongo's a pretty predominantly dark snake, and yeah, that one's definitely showing it. So I want to make bongo black pastel clowns, bongo stranger clowns, bongo I don't know, bongo with anything else dark. I think is going to be really cool. I just love the really bright head in comparison to the darker body. I think that's just an awesome looking snake. I was so happy when I produced my first bongo clown a couple of years ago. I don't know, I just love them. I think they're so cool. And speaking of bongo, here is a black pastel bongo, and this one's het pied. But if you look at look at what black pastel and bongo combine does to this snake. So imagine that in a clown version. Just, it darkens everything so much, gives it this nice striping. I really think the clown version of this, well, the pied version too, this one's het for pied, but both the pied and the clown version of this snake is going to be awesome looking. So I'm really looking forward to making those. Okay, and here's one that I actually purchased this year. And this one's got pastel in it, but this is a cinder. It's a pastel cinder het genetic stripe. So I didn't have a choice. I wanted to show cinder, but this is the only one that I have in my collection. Actually, I do have another one. Hang on a second. Okay, here's a regular cinder. So definitely a dark gene. You can see how pastel influences it. I actually really like pastel in this morph, even though I'm trying to avoid brightening the colors, but it's still got a pretty dark color palette compared to a regular pastel, or even like a pewter or anything like that. Pretty dark. But anyway, yeah, that's a normal cinder. Kind of, black pastelish looking a little bit, but definitely different. If black pastel and cinder were the same thing, then this would look like a pewter, and that does not look like a pewter at all. So these two are both growing up really nicely. I'll be breeding this one into genetic stripe for the 2023 season. Not sure what I'm going to do with that one yet, but I'll come up with something cool to do with it. Okay. And then the last one that I have here is another that has pastel into it, but it's still a dark gene, and I wanted to show it. It's just the only one in my collection, so I had to show one with pastel. This is a pastel stranger clown, and he's 100% het for hypo. So again, I wanted to show the darkest versions of these snakes as I could, but since stranger is a dark pattern animal, but this is the only one I had and happened to have pastel in it as well. But you could see it really darkened the pastel clown up a lot, gave it a lot more contrast to its pattern, really busy pattern overall. I love the stranger gene. I've loved it for years. Finally got into it this year, and I've got some pretty big plans for this guy and some hypo clown projects. Also, I'll use him in some of my regular clown projects as well. Okay guys, that's all I have for today. Make sure to like and subscribe, please. Also, make sure to visit my website, royalconstrictordesigns.com. I have a ton of stuff available right now. I'm adding more snakes up to the website today. I'll be adding more probably next week and the week after and the week after and the week after, and they'll just keep coming. So definitely check that out at royalconstrictordesigns.com. And also make sure to check out that podcast I was on, the Reptile Ward. The link is in the description below. I think it went pretty well, and hopefully you can get some insight as to what's going on around here. So I'll be back again very soon with another video. See you later, guys.